What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the Daily Jab. I'm basically starting it over. It's Wednesday, July 26th, and I'll get into it in a second. Before I do that, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support as I try to build my channel up here. Now, the Daily Jab, segment, I started, I wasn't aware, I'm still new to kind of how YouTube works overall. I thought some of the live videos stayed on your feed forever to the public, and I guess they don't. So the Daily Jab, I'm just going to do a regular video on that and then upload it, every day as I do it. That way you guys get right away news. So again, it's Wednesday, July 26th. Going forward, I'm going to do the Daily Jab either every day or every other day. So you're probably minimum going to get 2 to 3 daily jabs a week, because I generally on my, for work, I work about, I'd say 4 days out of the week, 4 out of 5, maybe that 5th day a little bit, but not that much. So the first one of the week, I'm always going to try to hit on Mondays, is going to be the busiest one, because I'm covering probably the last 2 or 3 days, and I'm covering the fights that happen over the weekend. And then, anything other than that, it could be Wednesday, it could be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It just depends on how much news, how busy I am, and all that kind of junk. But I'm looking forward to getting to it, so let's jump into it, because I went back and did news for over a week, kind of headlines and news that I wanted to discuss. And I'll close it out with the Inoue and Fulton showdown that took place just yesterday. So we start with some news. First, Jack Catterall calls out Josh Taylor. Jack Catterall said, we both don't have anything going on right now, and let's do this, let's get the rematch going. I like the idea. I think Taylor should take the rematch. I've always felt he should take the rematch, and he could leave no doubt. He's coming off a loss. Catterall wants to prove what happened in the first fight. It's a big fight for Taylor to get up for after a loss to Teofimo Lopez, and he could avenge it. And if he loses, he could either ride off into the sunset, into retirement, or move his ass fully up to 147. Other news, the Rolly Romero-Ohara Davies purse bid for the WBA 140-pound title has been postponed as Romero requested a medical extension. So they are still gonna fight, but the fight has been postponed and went to purse bid. And also, Ohara Davies has just signed with Golden Boy. So Golden Boy, once the purse bid happens, will be throwing their hat in the ring to try to land that fight on DAZN. And I hope they do, because who else is with Golden Boy? Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero have been talking mad shit to each other. Also, from over the weekend, George Kambosos Jr., the former unified lightweight champion, narrowly edges Maxie Hughes by a majority decision in a fight that a lot of people thought Hughes won. I personally didn't watch the fight. I had some stuff going on that day. But, from what I read, it was close and it could have went either way. I don't really understand why people are that surprised by it. And I'm also going to be doing a recap from this fight. That the fight was close is what I mean. But Kambosos edges Hughes, controversial decision. And now he's talking about he hopes he gets the Lomachenko fight next. Maybe so. We'll see. That should be interesting. Other news, Shakur Stevenson. A lot out of his camp. He actually was demanding the WBO, upgrade him to, the mandatory challenger and order the fight with Devin Haney. Now, if Devin Haney decides to stay at 135, then Stevenson's next in the WBC rankings to fight him. Not likely going to happen. According to a lot of sources, they're saying Devin Haney likely going to move to 140. And then Stevenson could return on November 16th, per Bob Arum. That's what he said. And it would likely be in a big fight. Big fight or not, it will likely be for at least 1, maybe 2 vacant championships. We'll see. Other news. Triple G, if he returns, John Ryder is likely going to be the opponent he returns against. So big right there. Triple G could face a top 5 guy in John Ryder, who in my opinion is still deserving of a top 5 spot. Triple G could face him right out the gate if he returns to action, and really throw his name into the serious mix at 168. That would be big. Next up, Luis Alberto Lopez and Joet Gonzalez is official for September 15th on ESPN for the IBF featherweight title at 126 pounds. Pretty excited about this one. This is going to be a banger right here. I'm going to be doing an is-on video, getting more into the detail into the fight, but this is a good one. Really looking forward to it. September 15th on ESPN. Next up, Jamel Herring, former junior lightweight champion, retired after back-to-back losses to Shakur Stevenson in 2021, and then Jermaine Ortiz in 2022. He is coming out of retirement. He is going to return at the end of September. He doesn't have a date or an opponent locked up yet, but he is coming back for sure, and he wants to make another run at a world title. And he's returning at 130 pounds where he was world champion. So that's good news right there. Interesting news. Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr. 2 is confirmed for Saturday, September 2nd. No more messing around. This rematch has been postponed twice. It was supposed to happen in May and then July. And now September, these two are finally going to lock horns at middleweight to leave no doubt who the man is. I'm going to be doing an is-on video about this one and getting into more detail, but that's a good one. Saturday, September 2nd on, I don't even know where it's going to be yet, but we'll get more into that. I'm assuming ESPN will pick up the fight again. Other news, Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, their April 26th unified world title fight has been picked up by ESPN Plus, so that's good. The fight was originally announced as taking place in Poland, and there wasn't nobody had American television rights, but ESPN has locked up the rights, and that fight will come to you on ESPN Plus. So that's some big news right there, because if you're an ESPN Plus subscriber, which you should be, because it's very cheap, I think it's only $6 or $7 a month, you can check out this fight, and it's going to be a good one between these two. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, next up, Billy Joe Saunders has announced that he is going to be returning to the ring finally, and it could likely take place at 175 pounds light heavyweight. We know that he did struggle to make 168. Discipline issues, in my opinion, had nothing to do with whether he could or he couldn't, or his size. It really had more to do with discipline issues. So he said he's going to be returning. Doesn't have an exact date yet, but that is significant because Billy Joe talks a lot of shit. He's a big name, and he's got he's been a champion in 2 weight classes, so he can definitely move a needle, at that weight. Other news, Philip Hrgovic and Dennis McKeon are going to fight on the Joshua White 2 card on DAZN on August 12th, so that's a pretty good one. That's a decent action. Hrgovic staying busy as he waits around for his eventual title shot. Andy Ruiz is amped up for the Deontay Wilder fight. It looks like this fight's gonna happen. We just don't know when. Still waiting on the announcement of that, but he's saying he's gonna beat Wilder's ass, so I'm getting the impression from that this fight is gonna likely happen for sure. And I really hope it does, because it's a really big fight in the heavyweight division. And these two guys were supposed to fight earlier in the year, and now that Tyson Fury is for sure fighting Francis Ngannou, and Anthony Joshua is locked up with Dillian White, and Alexander Usyk's fighting Daniel Dubois, they need to fight each other just to get that cred. Next, Anthony Yarde returns September 23rd. The former 2-time world title challenger, he was originally in talks with Dimitri Bivol for the WBA title. Looks like he's going in another direction. He's returning on the Zhao Zhang and Joe Joyce rematch card that's taking place September 23rd. Gonna be good to see Anthony Yarde back in action. He's a really good fighter. Devin Haney was arrested for a firearm issue. Haven't heard anything bad about that or anything yet. He was also granted an extension for 6 days through this Thursday by the WBC to make a decision on whether he is going to stay at 135 and fight Shakur Stevenson next, or move up to 140 and fight Regis Prograis. Haney's father has indicated that it's likely going to be Prograis at 140, but they have till Thursday to make their decision. We'll see what goes on. Next, Teofimo Lopez is keeping his 140-pound title. He wrote to the WBO that he is keeping his belt, that he is coming back. Bob Arum just said he didn't have his head on straight after he won. Now he's focused and ready to go. And Bob Arum was also hinting about a big fight for him before the end of the year. We'll see what happens. I'm really looking forward to hearing news on him. And now we get into the ESPN card from yesterday. First up on the undercard, Robesai Ramirez retained his title with a TKO victory over Shimizu, a Japanese fighter. Dominated him, stopped him in 5 rounds, retains his title, and is, makes it more exciting for the winner of the main event, which was the monster. Naoya Inoue totally destroyed Stephen Fulton Jr. to become the unified super bantamweight champion at 122 pounds. He won the WBC and WBO belts. Big time victory right there. I'll get more into it in my recap, but that was just a monster win, no pun intended, as Inoue just went in there and left no doubt and proved to everybody that how great he really is pound for pound wise. So those are the results. Those are the news from the past week or so, a little over a week. All my daily jabs will not be this long, but this is the news going on and some of the results. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.